Hello, welcome to your yoga practice. My name is Catherine, I'll be your guide. Today we have a full body vinyasa flow. We're going to be focusing on really opening up the full spine and of course incorporating our hips, our shoulders, opening our heart. We're going to be moving through what's called a spinal wave, which invites us to really articulate each vertebra and expand the spine, releasing the whole spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Let's get started in child's pose. You can spread your knees wide, toes come together. Option to rest your forehead onto the earth and then crawl the fingertips a little more toward the top of the mat. And we'll begin to arrive here into our practice, starting to notice any sensation you're already beginning to feel in your spine. Perhaps a lengthening, a release. Allowing for your belly to drop heavy toward the earth, for the crown of the head, your forehead. For your forehead to root in toward the earth. Feeling all the parts of your body that are in contact with the earth. Perhaps your shins, the palms of your hands, and really feeling this support from the ground below you, holding you and supporting you. Noticing any sensation you might feel in your hips, in your inner thighs, as we begin to awaken into this practice and deepen into this pose. If at any moment you need to readjust, feel free, knowing you are welcome. And beginning to tune in intentionally to the breath. Allowing for the breath to deepen and lengthen. And beginning to meditate on the breath. Listening to the breath and the sound of your breath moving through your body. And allowing for this breath to be your guide throughout your whole practice. On our inhale, we'll begin to walk our hands over toward the right side of the mat. Beginning to awaken into a stretch, an opening in the left side body. And we'll take another breath in. And then exhale, walk to the other side. Opening up the right side body. Breathing in to the right rib cage, sending the breath to the right rib cage. We'll take another breath in. And then let's exhale, crawl our hands back to center. Take another breath in here in this balasana, child's pose, knowing that you can return here at any moment throughout our practice together. And as we exhale, we'll find our way into a tabletop, taking our time, moving slowly, arriving here. And let's be really present with this tabletop to start out, spreading our hands wide, pressing our big toes into the earth and feeling the strength of our shoulder blades, the strength of our hands pushing into the earth. Good. And then let's begin to find some cows and cats, dropping the belly, lifting the heart, finding cow, finding cow. And then exhale, gazing toward navel, expanding the collarbones, finding cat. Inhale, open the heart for cow. Exhale, gaze toward the belly, cat. Moving here back and forth a few times on your own. I'm really beginning to feel into the spine, awakening into the spine. Good, let's come back into center, find a neutral spine. And then as we exhale, we'll gaze toward our right bum, open up the left side body, wagging the tail. Inhale, center. Exhale, let's go the other side. Gaze toward left bum, open right side body. Inhale, center. And exhale to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Once more, each side. Good, and then let's put those cows and cats and wagging the tail together. So we'll inhale to gaze up. And then exhale, gaze toward your right bum as you make your way around toward cat. Inhale toward your left bum as you make your way up toward cow. Finding this barrel roll, moving in a big circle. Allowing for the chin to drop toward the earth, for the crown of the head to drop toward the earth. Good. And let's go for the other direction. Inhale, gaze up. And then exhale, gaze toward left bum. Make your way around toward cat. And then exhale, making your way all the way up. I'm getting my cows and cats mixed up today. Drawing big circles in the opposite direction. Really savoring this movement of the spine, awakening each vertebra. Good, and then let's inhale, find cow, gaze up. And exhale, walk the hands forward, keeping the hips high, finding puppy pose. Beginning to engage the core, seeing if you can, instead of really flexing the low spine, seeing if you can awaken the deep core, engage the rib cage, engage the low back. Looping the shoulder blades up and back, maybe tenting the fingers up high, feeling that engagement in your shoulder blades as well. Let's take a deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we're sinking back. Child's pose. Give a little shake with the hips, rolling from side to side on the forehead. Good. We're going to find that spinal wave now. So we'll inhale, find a cat spine, imagining almost an angry cat, really exaggerating the shoulder blades. And then we'll melt the hips down toward the earth to open the heart, coming into a quasi up dog. Gaze up to the sky. And then exhale, transform that into a cow pose. Lift the hips, lift the heart. As we dip our hips back, forehead to earth. Child's pose. Let's try that again. Angry cat spine. Exaggerate the shoulder blades on the inhale. And then exhale, dip the hips. Gaze up to the sky as you transform back into child's pose via cow pose. Moving through this movement a few times on your own with your own breath. Beginning to awaken each vertebra, allowing for the chin to come along for the ride, gazing up to the sky, and then gazing toward the earth. A few more times. Beautiful. On the next one, let's all meet in that quasi up dog position. Good, and then we'll exhale, gaze toward our right side, lifting our right knee off the earth. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, other side. Rocking back and forth a few times. Beautiful. And then let's come all the way down to our bellies. We'll bring our hands about mat width apart, pressing into the earth to lift the heart. Roll all the way up. Gaze to the sky. And exhale, rolling forward. Finding this spinal wave again here. Into the earth. Pressing the pubic bone into the earth, rolling up. And then maybe as you exhale, you want to bend one elbow, ear toward the earth. Roll all the way up. And exhale, elbow bends opposite ear to earth. Beginning to open up the front of the heart, the front of the shoulder blades. Beautiful. Once more, inhale, rolling up. And exhale, rolling all the way down. Make a little pillow with the hands, forehead to the top of your hands. Give your hips a little shake out. Good, let's come into Sphinx pose. Forearms and palms pressing into the earth, and we'll begin to draw some big circles with the chin. Feeling this isolation of movement in the front of the throat, in the back of the neck, reversing directions. Maybe you find a couple of sweet spots in there. I know I certainly do. Breathing into where you feel tension and tightness. To deepen the release. Good, and let's press our hands into the earth, elongate our elbows, lifting our heart to the sky, gaze up. And exhale, folding forward. Palms make a pillow, forehead on top. Give the hips a little shake. Good. We'll place our hands underneath our shoulder blades this time. Magnetize the shoulder blades together. Press the big toes into the earth. Grip with the mat to peel the heart space off the ground. Gaze up, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. And exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra, gaze up. Exhale, lower. Once more, inhale, rolling up. And this time as we exhale, we're pressing all the way back. Child's pose. And take a moment to take inventory of your spine at this point in our practice. Noticing any shift, any change, any transformation of sensation that you have in your spine. And noticing that, noticing it without labeling it as good or bad or better or worse. Just letting it be, being present with any subtle or not so subtle shift in your body. And take a breath in. And then as we exhale, we'll tuck our toes under and begin to lift our hips up high, keeping our knees really bent to start out here. So coming into a downward facing frog. Knees are really bent, heels are lifted. And let's just give the hips a little shake here. I know it's tempting to come into our full down dog first, but we haven't really opened up the hamstrings much today yet. So just being here in this downward frog, shaking out the hips and finding this really beautiful release with the spine, allowing for our spine to drip toward the earth, almost imagining that you have a pool of energy in the base of the tailbone, and that pool is rushing down each vertebra like a waterfall and waving over the soft crown of your head, pooling in a little puddle between your hands. And then as you feel ready, maybe you begin to elongate the hamstrings, softly awakening, pedaling out the feet, and gently arriving into our Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, continuing to keep any movement, pedaling out of the heels, a bending of the knees, a wiggling of the hips, knowing that no pose must be static. You're really invited to find movement within these postures to soften your practice and by means deepen your practice. Good. Let's take another breath in. And a long exhale out. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. Begin to find your way toward the top of the mat, landing in a ragdoll pose. This time, knees are really, really bent again. Maybe interlace opposite wrists into opposite elbows and begin to find a sway. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Letting the spine have the chance to continue to release. Maybe you'd like to interlace your fingertips behind the back of your neck and begin to give yourself a little massage here. Finding some sweet spots. Pressing your fingertips into those soft points around the base of your crown. Even moving a little bit to your shoulder blades. Just a little self-massage here, letting yourself really release. Beautiful. Let's melt our hands down toward the earth. We'll uncoil, halfway lift, gazing up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, uncoil. Exhale, fold it forward. Once again, finding this spinal wave. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. This time we're rooting to rise, rolling oh so slowly, vertebra by vertebra, all the way up into standing. And then as we arrive here, let's loop the shoulder blades up and back, letting the knees bend as they come with us. Beautiful. Finding this loop up and back. Almost feeling an echo of this movement with the knees. Good. Then arriving in samasthiti at the front of the mat, toes together, hands spreading wide. Arriving here, feeling your feet on the ground for the first time as we stand in this practice. Coming back to the support of the earth. The support of the earth and the ground beneath you. We'll inhale to reach our arms up to the sky. Take a breath in. And exhale, elongate the back of your hamstrings, reaching forward toward the earth, forehead to shins. Uncoil, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, finding downward facing dog. Deep inhale breath here. And then exhale, roll to shift forward, finding plank. Inhale, shift back, downward facing dog. Exhale, roll forward, find plank. Shifting back and forth here a few times. Inhale, rolling through each vertebra to plank. And exhale, rolling back down dog. Finding the spinal wave. Once more, inhale, roll to shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down onto the belly. Let's inhale, arms wide across the mat, roll all the way up. Exhale, forehead to earth. Inhale, find Sphinx pose, heart to sky. Exhale, roll forward. Hands underneath shoulder blades. Inhale, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, reach our right leg all the way up to the sky and begin to draw some big circles with that knee. Really letting the hip open, letting it really be free, feeling the femur bone beginning to lubricate inside of the hip socket. Good, and then we'll find three-legged dog this time, squaring that hip off toward the earth. Maybe the leg lowers significantly. Take a breath in, and then exhale, glide the foot forward, knee falls toward the earth. Anjaneyasana, arms reach up to the sky. Take a breath in, and then exhale, let's cactus our elbows, gaze up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Once more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck back toes under, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rooting to rise, roll all the way up. And exhale, swan dive, lengthen at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale out. Deep breath in. And exhale, shift forward into plank. Let's inhale, drop our hips, lengthen our heart toward the sky, upward facing dog. And exhale to engage the core, pushing back up just into plank. Inhale, drop the hips, upward dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank. And exhale, lower all the way down. Beautiful. Let's find that wide-armed cobra, rolling all the way up. Exhale, roll all the way down. Inhale for Sphinx pose, heart to sky. Exhale, lower. Hands underneath the shoulders. Roll shoulder blades up and back together. Lift the heart, Bhujangasana. Exhale, shifting back, downward facing dog. So we're moving through our spinal waves by means of building a sun salutation. Let's inhale, lift our left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Begin to draw those beautiful circles with the knee. In one direction and the other. Opening up the hip, being free with it. Good, and then let's shine both hips down toward the earth, coming into three-legged dog. Allowing for the hip to lower. A very different sensation and feeling here. Take a breath in. And then exhale, glide the foot forward. Knee lowers down. Arms reach up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And exhale, cactus the elbows, heart to sky. Inhale, reach. And exhale, gaze up. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bend. Once more, inhale, reach. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck back toes under, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, uncoil, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rooting to rise, roll all the way up. Arms reach to the sky. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart. Take a breath in. Long exhale out. We'll inhale to reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, uncoil, half lift. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. This time we're inhaling all the way, shift forward into an upward facing dog. And exhale, shifting back downward dog. So yogi's choice here. You can do any of the three options that we've built toward. This full option coming all the way into upward dog as the third, optional. Staying in rolling forward just into plank, or staying in your down dog and breathing there. Really allowing for your breath to move you into the spinal wave. Elongating the breath. Beautiful. On the next inhale, everybody meet in plank. And exhale, roll all the way down to the belly. Inhale, arms wide, heart to sky, gaze up. Exhale, roll forwards. Inhale, find Sphinx pose. Exhale, fold forward. Hands underneath shoulder blades. Lift the heart to gaze up. Exhale, shifting back into downward facing dog. Let's inhale, lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. And then exhale, scorpion the dog. Staying here for a breath. Take an inhale. Staying here, or option to flip your dog, coming into wild thing, lifting the heart to the sky, and exhale all the way back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot through, peel the back heel open, rolling all the way up, warrior one. Fingertips reach to sky, find a deep bend in that front knee, lifting the heart, looping shoulder blades up and back. 3 deep breaths here. Good. We'll bring our hands behind our back to clasp, option 1. Option 2 is to latch onto opposite elbows. We'll loop our shoulders up and back, expand the heart, gaze up, and exhale, melting forward into our humble warrior. And coming back into this practice of letting the spine fully release, seeing if you can tuck the chin toward your sternum, releasing the crown of your head a little more. Noticing where you are holding. Noticing if there's any places you can release a little more as you find this balance of strength, of stability, of support from the earth, and release from gravity. We'll take another breath in. And then exhale, release the clasp. We're rolling all the way back up. Warrior one, take a breath in. And then as we exhale, we're peeling open, finding warrior two, and we're finding a wiggly warrior two. So the image here is a used car salesman balloon guy. We're letting ourselves really embrace this wiggly energy. It can be helpful to close your eyes, knowing that it doesn't really matter what you look like, it matters how you feel inside. Feeling this kind of silly, playful, curious, wiggly energy. Good. And then we'll contrast that by arriving into Virabhadrasana B, warrior two, finding your strength, finding your stability. Gaze beyond your third finger. Feeling an expansion in your heart, a growth in your fingertips, like you're reaching toward infinity. Take a breath in and exhale out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Hand reaches toward the back, the calf muscle, avoiding the knee joint. See if you can take a deeper bend in your front knee, gazing up. Continuing to reach toward the back of the room, expanding, growing. Take another breath in. And then exhale, elbow to knee, extended side angle, reaching all the way up. And we'll begin to draw some circles here with the arm. Now the image is electric guitar solo moment. Drawing big circles. Beautiful. Let's gain some momentum. Find that reverse warrior coming all the way up and back. And then this time as we exhale, maybe toe heel the back foot a little bit in closer. Let's reach toward the top of our mat. Reaching, arriving into triangle pose. Let's take a breath in here, reach fingertips to the sky. And then as we exhale, we're finding a quasi thread the needle here. So we're grazing the space in between our forearm and our shin with our fingertips to roll all the way back up. A few times here, and allowing for the hips to come along for the ride. So as I graze my fingertips toward my shin, both my hips turn toward the earth. And then as I come back out, my hips are shining toward the side. They're shining towards you. A few times here. Beautiful. And then from here, I'll place this top hand onto my hip. I'll bend into my front knee, place my hand in front of me, and begin to find some playful pushes off my back foot, beginning to shift the weight of my pelvis, the weight of my hips into my standing foot. And I'm really just playing here. Maybe you know where we're going. And that's all good. But living into the transition here. Feeling this playful weight shift until eventually maybe you do catch yourself and arrive into Ardha Chandrasana half moon. Ooh. It's okay if you lose your balance, letting that be part of the experience. Taking another breath in, stamping the heel into an invisible wall behind you. And then exhale, let everything go, fold forward. Good work. Inhale, uncoil. Exhale, roll all the way down. Inhale, rooting to rise, come up, arms to sky. Exhale, roll right back down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. Long breath out. Option to find any of the previous options we've done here in our spinal wave. Option 1, shifting forward into plank and back into down dog. Option 2, finding that shift between upward facing dog and plank. Option number 3 is finding that full spinal wave. And option number 4 is finding a beautiful hold in this down dog. We'll find one more round of breath wherever you're at. And then we'll all exhale, coming into plank to lower all the way down. Maybe you come down with your knees. You know what's coming. Arms come wide across the mat, rolling all the way up. Exhale down, finding Sphinx pose, gazing up. Exhale down. Hands under shoulder blades, loop up and back. Lift the heart. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take a breath in here. And a breath out. Inhale, lift the left leg, three-legged dog. Feel that squared offness in the hips. And then exhale, scorpion out the dog. Option to stay here, option to flip the dog, come into wild thing. Hips and heart lift to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, coming all the way back. Inhale to expand. Exhale, glide the foot through in between the hands, back heel peels open. Warrior 1. Arms reach up to the sky, 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. Finding the opposite clasp, either of your hands or your elbows this time. Expanding the heart, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, humble warrior. Beautiful. Let's release. Hands graze the earth as you roll all the way up, warrior one. And then exhale, peeling out into wiggly warrior two. Finding your intuitive movement, allowing for your body to speak and be and move as feels good to you, as you so please. And then letting that pleasure transform into a feeling of strength and of presence. Virabhadrasana B, warrior two. Gaze, drishti, beyond your third finger. Feeling your focus, your intent, your balance, your strength, your energy. We'll inhale, reverse warrior. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, extended side angle, elbow to knee. Beginning to draw those big circles with the arm. Moving in one direction and the other. Good. And then reversing the warrior, coming all the way up and back. And then exhale, maybe toe heel, the back heel in a little bit. And then reach, 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 coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Fingertips toward the sky, take a breath in. And then exhale, quasi-thread the needle, grazing fingertips through this little gap between your forearm and your shin. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, finding this threading the needle movement within a Trikonasana pose. How fun. Moving back and forth. Noticing this journey that your hips are going on. Knowing that your hips by no means must stay static. Allowing for the natural movement of the hips to come along for the journey. Good, and then we'll inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, placing that top hand onto the hip, reaching the front hand forward, and beginning to find this weight shift here. Moving into the transition. Beginning to really imagine the weight of your pelvis shifting between two legs, 2 feet, over 1 foot. Until eventually you find your balance in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Fingertips reach toward the heavens, stamping your back heel into that back wall. Feeling your strength gripping the mat with your bottom foot. Take a breath in. And exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana, let everything release. We'll inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise. Roll all the way up. Arms reach to the sky. Exhale, samastiti, hands to heart center. We'll come into a tree pose, finishing our standing series in tree. So we'll begin to just find a little playful tease of this weight shift once again between one leg and the other, shifting. Good. And then begin to walk the foot up the calf muscle, maybe eventually latching on to the ankle, bringing it in toward the inner thigh, bringing the hands to heart center. Lifting the fingertips to the sky. Allowing for there to be some wind in your tree if there is wind. Letting your branches grow. And then maybe letting your leaves begin to fall. Good. We'll place the foot down. Bring hands to the heart. Begin to find that playful weight shift here. It's a pretty significant transition from from 2 feet to 1 foot. So just feeling that. And then maybe crawling the foot up the calf, keeping the foot either above or below the knee joint, not pressing onto the knee joint. There's not a lot of knots in yoga, not a lot of don't do this in yoga, but that is one. The knee joint is so sensitive that we don't want to put any unnecessary pressure or weight onto it. So finding this tree on the other side, maybe you'd like to grow your branches again. Maybe fingertips begin to become leaves. You allow for your leaves to fall. Feeling the spine tall and elongated as you bring your foot down. Arriving in Samastiti once again. Good. Meeting at the top of the mat, we'll inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, melting forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back into plank. This is your chance for chaturanga. We'll inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so just notice how that vinyasa chaturanga felt in your body after all the movement, all the warm-up we did. Sitting and simmering in the sensation of all this movement, this beautiful movement, this beautiful practice in our bodies. We'll take another breath in. And then exhale, melting the knees toward the earth. Let's find child's pose for a beat. We'll take one more breath in here. And then exhale, roll all the way up into a seated position. And we're going to find Ustrasana camel pose just to close with a heart opener, to open up the chest, open up the lungs, really feel the full sensation of this practice. So Option is to come onto the knees like this, and we'll move through a few different rounds and different options that you can take. So option number one, let's all start here, is by placing our hands onto our hips, and we'll magnetize our shoulder blades up and back, and then almost like we're coming into that Sphinx pose from the earth, just beginning to dip the shoulders, dip the chin up and back. So imagining we're like in that Sphinx or baby cobra pose, just in a different relationship to space. This is a really great option. Maybe you stay here and experiment with this. Maybe you experiment with letting your throat open, dropping the crown of your head a little closer toward the earth and coming up again. If you want to move on to option two, we'll swim our right arm all the way up and back, finding a big backstroke to reach toward our right ankle. Maybe we elongate our left arm toward the sky. Let's all take a deep breath in. And a long exhale out, coming all the way back up. Let's find that on the other side. Inhale, swim the left arm all the way up and back toward the left heel. Reaching right arm to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Okay, so those are two options. The first one you can continue to play with. If you're on option number two, you can keep doing that, switching sides, making sure that you're even. If you want to come into the full Ustrasana camel pose, I'll guide that now. We'll do it together. We'll start out like option two. Inhale, reach right arm all the way up and back toward the heel. And then we'll do the same with the left arm. Reach left arm all the way up and back. Find that swim until you find the left heel. Let's inhale, press the pelvis forward, release the throat, release the crown of the head, gaze up and back. And then exhale, right hand finds right glute, left hand finds left glute. Push into your hips to roll all the way up. And let's come down, forehead to earth. Take a breath in and a long exhale out. Inhale and exhale. Let's roll all the way back up. We'll do another round, yogi's choice. If you're doing the full set, this time we'll start with the left arm, reaching all the way up and back toward left ankle. Inhale, right arm reaches up, and exhale, right ankle. 3 long breaths here. Beautiful. Walking the hands toward the hips to roll yourself all the way up and forward. Child's pose. Here we are back where we started this practice in a child's pose. And take a moment and simmer in the residue of this practice. A residue of any shift or change that has occurred, any soft or profound transformation in your body over the last hour. And we'll take another breath in and exhale, roll all the way up into seated. We'll close with a forward fold, coming into a seated, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Let's latch onto our ankles, lift our hearts to the sky. And then exhale, folding forward, allowing for the spine to drop once more. By no means do your toes need to be in contact with your forehead, or your forehead in contact with your toes. Just allowing for gravity to do its work. Keeping your chin nodded toward your sternum with as little effort as possible. Good, one more breath. And exhale, roll all the way up. We'll find Shavasana, coming to lie onto our backs, rolling all the way back. Finding any last posture you need, maybe giving yourself a tight hug, rocking from side to side, and then letting the ankles fall toward the edges of your mat, letting the whole body release. Letting the entire practice begin to integrate into yourself, into your being, all of your cells, your muscles, your blood, and your bones. Transforming and integrating this practice. Letting yourself let go of time. I will guide us out of Shavasana in a few minutes. Let's take a deep breath in. Beginning to find some soft movements with the fingertips and your toes. Reaching the hands in a big good morning stretch. And then coming onto one side in a fetal position, holding yourself here for a moment. And then rolling all the way up into seated. We'll bring our hands together toward our heart and begin to rub our hands, generating some last heat. And then we'll place one hand over our heart, one hand over our belly. Feeling yourself here, alive, real, deeply needed, and deeply loved. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day whenever this finds you. I'm looking forward to practicing with you soon. Namaste.